Okay, very good. Okay, I had a chance to look over a little bit.
We left Baruch Hashem early. So we got here early also.
Oh, very good. So you didn't have much traffic?
Not at all. Mamish, not at all.
That's very good. Okay, excellent. Okay. So we're up to Samach Ches Amid Beis.
No minute. Right.
In the middle.
Bedenk, de letzte Sache hat man gelernt, Bechad lekolut,
Yes.
אני ודרב שמעון סוט ניסתום בכלל מדין,
Well, this is Ula Amar.
הוא לא אומר.
So Ula Amar Rabbi Yochanan, he's going to argue on Rav. Ula Amar Rabbi Yochanan the Aver Atzmai Mutter. He says it's Mutter. We learned before when we started the Gemara on the Mishnah, we learned that it's Aser, the Aver itself. So he says it's Mutter. Amal Rabbi Yehuda leUla v'Haravu Shmuel Damatar Vayu Aver Atzmai Aser.
So because yesterday we learned Omar Rabbi Yehuda, Omar Rav, Eber Atzmai Aser.
Aser, right? And now he's saying Amar Rabbi Yochanan, that's his Mutter.
Shem Rav, yeah.
No, it's not saying Shem Rav now.
Omar Rabbi Yochanan, right? Omar Rabbi Yochanan.
Is so he says the praise. Man Yovlon me'afad Rav Shmuel malino na einen aber Elohachem Rabbi Yochanan hakol hayu b'chlal basar b'sod. He says a praise on Rav and Shmuel, but he disagrees with Rav. He says Rabbi Yochanan says different. He holds like Rabbi Yochanan. This is Ula.
אמר רבי יהודה לאולה, ביקש תזור מנומת ורבי יוחנן מזדס ממוטר, והרב שמואל דמת הביו, עבר עצמו יעשה.
Sagt ihm Tzadik Ula, was? Amalei, man Yovlon after Rabbi Shmuel Malina not einen.
What does it mean?
If we were Zaychid put the sand from the graves of Rabbi Shmuel on our eyes, they're so chashiv. But Elohachem Rabbi Yochanan, but Rabbi Yochanan sagt anders. Was sagt er? What?
This phrase, man Yoivlan.
Oh, you want to see? You want the exact text?
Phrase was meant in normally means what Alevai wird mediat, but the Maisi the Dinkster of them.
Lamaisa Dinkster, yes.
Okay.
Take a look. I'm Rabbi Yochanan. Hakol hayu b'chlal basa basada treifa. Lo sechelu. All zen gvenin klal as is osir. Kisheparat l'cha hakosuv gabi chatos sheyotza chutz limchitzosa. When the Torah tells you that chatos is osir when it goes out chutz limchitzosa, that means chutz. V'chazra asura chatosu deparat rachmanim. Bo. Aval kol milik, even the hadar shari is mutter. So what's he saying? He's saying like this. He says the Torah somewhere else tells me that chatos is usher if you took it out and put it back.
You understand? Please look at the Rashi yesterday. So he's the Torah gesagt in andere Platz. Der Posik, please look a second in Samachas Amudale. Baso Basol Trefer, you see?
Yeah.
So look at the second half of Rashi. כל מי שיש לו מחיצה ויוצא, כמו בוסר קודשים שיוצאו נמי מהאיקו נפתו.
Okay.
Nicht der andere Posik, das ist der Posik.
Okay, right.
So Bosser Basoder sagt jeder Be'eves Kodshim. It went out, yes?
And returned.
Kann man nicht essen.
Right. So that's what I learned from the pasuk.
Avoid the pasuk bachatos.
So you just told me it's by that's the pasuk. Basa basada.
Yeah, but the pasuk had to use of chatos.
Okay, so okay, let's see Rashi.
Akol oyu. See, Rashi Dibor Matzil, Akol oyu.
Where is that?
It's if you see the Tosfos Yochol Lav Zeh, see the
Yeah.
across a few.
Oh, good. Yeah. Hakol hayu. Right. Kol nema b'bechitza gegoin uber l'shchita ubasa kachi kachi shenet nolahem toiras mechitzos. Basa the mechitzos by kachi kachim azara v'kachim kalim shem is by Chaimis Yerushalayim. Each one of these has a different mechitza. As mechitza lem kulon hayu b'chlal iser. All of these were in klal iser. Zeh. This iser of Yatzel Chutz L'Mechitzos of Basa Basada Basa Treifa. The Mshiyotza Basa Basada Harehu Ketreifa. Right? So all three were from that pasuk. Uvaha Kosu V'Parach L'Cha B'Chatos Shein Chazara Mayeles Bo D'Chsiv. Oh, now we have the pasuk that tells me it doesn't help. B'Soy Chatos D'Rosh Chodesh Shesho Sarfuhu Aaron Uvanov. Oh, this is what Rashi says. V'kotzaf aleim Moshe, madua loy achaltem es hachatos, hein loy huva estomo. The chatos didn't have dam, so therefore it doesn't have a din. So therefore, why didn't you eat it? Elakoidesh, sheti posel.
If mistakenly you would have taken the blood innovated verstehe.
What is grand posel?
But ein lo huva is domer lakoidesh.
Yeah, it's nicht posel. Kidiksiv. So v'chol chatos asher yuva midomo, etc. Upnimo. Upnimo. Hoisa. No, now we're going back to talking about the carbon. The carbon chatos was penima. Lo yatsa chutz l'mechitzasa. Penima hoisa. Shelo yatsa chutz l'mechitzasa. Ho yatzasa. Basreifahi. So from that pasuk, we learn that if it goes out of its mechitza, it's a basreifa. And we don't say that you could return it back. And we didn't have to even spell it out. The mehecha teisilon, the tishri mechlal treifa, loisachelu mishum chazara. Who says that there's such a thing as going back from treifa? Elo lahochi parat bo lemeimar. The high he deloit mahanya bo chazara. So I'm not really clear where it says in the pasuk. Rashi seems to say that we're learning out from a diuk, no?
Okay, that was Moshe Rabbeinu zog. Ze b'chol chatos asher yuva midomer lakodesh.
But it doesn't tell me anything about the chatos itself having been taken out of the mechitzos.
No, but Moshe Rabbeinu zog. Ze wollt men arois genommen verstehe ich. Aber doch nicht arois genommen. Like was that was Moshe Rabbeinu zog. It's obvious, yeah. It's obvious.
Okay. Avakol shar hayotzim shechazru hu true. Learned Rabbi Yochanan that this pasuk goes on that specific case and nothing else. Back to the Gemara. Chatasu de paratachmona bo. Avakol mili al andra kiven dahadur. Since you put it back, shari.
This is the Torah emphasizes only here, but if you put it back here.
Yeah, exactly. By andere, there's no pasuk telling me that it's also after you put it back. Right.
Before the shchita,
and put it back.
Then she got it back, and then she's
geschachten.
Bergman says.
Exactly.
Meisvei.
Nice way. One second.
Boso basoda treifa loso chayim mata modle.
Okay, there's yeah. What's was on there? L'sechelu ma talmud loima. The fisha matzinu b'maisa sheni
Meise sheni
ubikurim. Af al pisha yotzu chutz lemchitza v'chazru mutarin yochel af ze kain. I would think that everything else also, once you bring it back to its original place, is mutter. Talmud loima treifa. Look, sagt unser Pasuk treifa. My Talmud and Talmud loima treifa.
I have to realize, according to Rashi, the Shali given, was that we schreiben the word treifa, look at Rashi, Rashi so we can't steal him,
Right, but treifa tells me that it's not reversible.
Okay.
No, but first he's telling me different from Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Yochanan wanted to learn that the pasuk goes only on chatos. Here it seems to say that it goes on everything besides.
You see the Gemara.
Besides my.
The Gemara concludes.
Oh, so that's the my Talmud. One second. Because Yochel my Talmud, Amar Rabba Kitreifa. Ma treifa kivin shenitrefa shuv ein lo heter. Treifa is permanent. Af basa kivan sheyotza chuslam chitzasa shuv ein lo heter. Is tiyufta duula tiyufta.
Is geblieben Tage.
As you to put you, as the pshat in the Mishnah is that it's telling me about the makam chatach, but everything else avada it's also if it. The rest of the arm that was stuck out, that's for sure also. Okay. Tiyufta du'ul tiyufta. Omar Mar, Lefisha Matzina b'Maisa Sheni b'Kurim Hechen. Lefisha Matzina Maisa Sheni b'Kurim. That we found that if you'd return it, it's okay. Hechen Matzina. And for that, the ksiv loy suchal lechel b'shorecha Meiser degoncha tiroshcha etc. You can't go back to your city and eat it. Aval yotzu chutzlim chitzasan v'chazru mutarin.
Ja, aber was meint b'shorecha u'delotecho?
That's the singular limud from it is that you can't. The only isser of eating meiser is eating it in your city. But if you brought it to Yerushalayim and you took it out of Yerushalayim and you put it back in Yerushalayim, you could eat it.
Right.
Okay, the Hoffman.
Marova
Masnuhachi. So this Marova Masnuhachi, this Machlek is really Rishonim, but Rashi learns Leflugayu, the Rav Rabbi Yochanan. That they learn the whole the discussion.
Roma Machlek is Rabbi Yochanan. If the hand is always kommen zurück. Rav sagt mit Toni, so Rabbi Yochanan sagt jo.
Yep.
Marova Masnuch.
They learn the machlokes like this, on a different concept.
No, I don't want it. It's not good. It's not good. I have a better one. Just don't worry about it. Just don't take it out. I'm sorry about it.
Marova Masnuch. Rav Omar yesh leido leivorim. Rabbi Yochanan Omar ein leido leivorim.
Again, it's another hesber, another way of understanding the machlokes. Rashi touches up. Yesh leido leivorim means that if an aver comes out, let's say you have 3/4 of an aver coming out, is it asks the whole aver or not? If there's a leido leivorim, then you look at the aver itself as a thing in and of itself. So then even if 3/4 of the arm came out, the whole arm is usher. This is not the way we learned before Yotza. When we learned before Yotza, and we learned about the chatach, it was clear that the only thing that was usher is what came out of the mother. Now we're learning that the pshat is, according to Mandam, who says yesh ledol levorim, that the whole aver can become usher once you have more than 50% of the aver out.
So it's just Emil learning as yesh leiders, even though only the raw aver came and the miut stayed in, it's awesome.
Correct. So the whole explanation of chatach makam chatach falls away.
Cooking Rashi.
Yesh ledol levorim, aver shiyotza harei ho'ever ki yolud. The su lemahanya lechazara. Yeah, okay, that's for sure. But okay, ein leda mahanya lechazara. Now we're going to learn to the Mai Benayu.
Yeah, my benayu.
Mai Benayu, iku benayu lemesa miyut aver shebefnim. To aser the miyut of the aver that's inside. Everybody holds that when you put it out, it's aser.
Cooking Rashi.
Yeah.
The mesa miut aver. Im yotzo ruboi, benisha miut. The lishna basra de lokat loshnu leide.
That's Marava.
Aver is yolu du beisa kulet. The lishna kamela nesar lo ayotz.
Right. According to this machlokes, Rabbi Yochanan is maskim that if you put out the aver becomes usher.
Oh yes, so nicht. L'chure, we didn't take any position.
Okay, I mean, this is the learning shot in the machlokes. So if there's a machlokes Rav and Rav Yochanan, the learning shot Rav learns that yesh ledol levorim.
Is it the reason why Rav had gesagt that the aver that came out and back in is yesh later, she's in Gibor.
Exactly. And Rabbi Yochanan holds, of course, if you put it out, it's going to be usher, but if you put it back in, it could be mutter, because ein ledol levorim, so nothing happened.
Ich verstehe nicht. Was sag ich immer, mein Benayu? Ich habe Benayu, zu mir gegessen die Hand oder nicht. Früher hat mir gelernt, also lieber der Rav.
No, wait. Look at the Rashi again. The Mai Benayu is going on the difference between pshat between the Marava and the pshat we learned before. In both cases, Rav says it's usher. What's the difference between them? So Rashi, the difference between them is in the place where Rav says it's usher, Mishum Yotza, only the part that went out is usher. Now, if we're learning like Marava, Rav can usher the whole aver.
Es ist mitgelernt, dass es also als Treife. So only what came out became Treife, not the one that stayed in. But Emil learned at the time is by yesh ledol levorim.
If the aver came out, the whole aver could be usher. So those are the Mai Benayu.
Good.
Okay. Ibayalahu. The divrei ha'omer ein ledol levorim.
Lieber der Rav.
No, Rabbi Yochanan. Rav says yes, later. That's why he asks, even if you put it back inside.
Ein lady, yeah.
Ibayalahu. The divrei ha'omer ein ledol levorim. Hoitzi ha'uber es yoda v'echzira. V'chaza v'hoitzi es yoda v'echzira. At she'eshlimu l'rubai. Mahu. So the words in the Gemara, you can't touch it the way that it says in the Gemara. Rashi explains it. So we have to look at Rashi. The different ein ledol levorim hoitzi yoda v'echzira v'chaza v'hoitzi yoda ha'acheres v'echzira v'chazar v'hoitzi shadrasai v'echzira at she'eshlimu l'rubai shaluber. So what Rashi is saying is that the case here is talking about where besach hakoil, the ganze more than half of the ganze behema, that says the uber stuck itself out. It's not talking only about the arm. You saw Rashi? So that's what Rashi fits into the Gemara. Is mihavi? Is it kiyolut? The ha nafka rubya? Because b'sachakol, most of it came out already. Or dilma kiven the ein leidolei varim, according to Rabbi Yochanan, let's say the ein leidolei varim. Have you chazara didei chazara? V'chinofik idoch kfar hod v'chinofik idoch kfar hod alei kama. When he put out the second arm, he put it in the first in. Ve'ein kan yitzis roiv. The ein leman da'oma yesh leido. The Ilman Domar Yesh Leido, if we would say this, if we would ask this Eretimtza according to Mandom Yesh Leido, Lo Mehani Lechazor. So therefore Avada you have more than half. So therefore Avada is also.
נכון, ורד נהיה סליבה דרבי יוחנן, או זוג, אין לידו לאיבורים. Is it because it's an aver only, but now that most of the parts of the Uber came out, it's not aver anymore, it's the Uber. Because the longest for the Shari.
That's how you're learning. I couldn't put together. Why should that be different? Why should it be different if 1 and 1 came out as opposed to 1?
Later means the birth of the object inside. Aver is not Aver allein not mit Shem later. Aber was wird gewesen a Roiv Uber came out and he.
That's correct. That's later.
Good. So there, taking out the right hand, the left hand, taking out the Shadre, totals Roiv Aguf.
Yeah, but he put back the left hand and put back the right hand, and you only have now the Shedra out.
Well, is the reason why you said A only because it's a single object and it's back to its original place. But here it's not a single object, so maybe this is considered maybe. Mamish with the Zooks, but those are the Suffolk.
I understand, but each single object went back to its place. And if you hold that...
Was the emphasis because it came back, or the emphasis was because it's a single organ? Here, it's not a single organ anymore.
Okay, I hear. I mean, some explanation we need. So if fine. Yeah, I didn't see it. I looked at it before. I didn't see any larger explanation.
So even though the mice most of the baby came out individually, yes.
But given the Hoda, so therefore it's not Loiv.
Correct.
Yeah. According to that case, if we say like that, what about Hoitzi Ubers Yoda V'chodcha? V'chazav Hoitzi is Yoda V'chodcha. Ad Sheshlim L'Ruboy Mahu. Now you don't have Roiv left inside. Right. Did the Chatichas Aver?
Right. Look, Gemara speaks out. Right. You realize now the Gemara pops up with a new svara b'chlach. Hubo bebasachas, ist das a Sach. Ich bin mit Zaref, a Hand, mit a Fuß, mit a Shedre. Either it comes out Hubo or nicht.
Right, but you take a look at the list words in Rashi. Rashi says this shaila is even according to the Man Dama who says yesh le'deleivorim. Why would you think it would be true even according to the Man Dama yesh le'deleivorim? Shouldn't it be a vadai?
No. Rav had gesagt yesh le'deleivorim, even if she brings the hand back, that's us.
But the reasoning behind it is that it was born already, right? So now, if the hand, and then the other hand, and then the foot, and then the other foot, and then the shedra go out, why shouldn't you say that Roiv was born?
Shmuel, you see, we didn't. Let's read the Shaila again before the Rashi. אם תמצאו רואים כיוון דהודה או הודה, או יצירו ברסיעות ובחותכו, how much of the hand did he take out? That's meant Rashi. He took out a fifth of his hand and he cut it. Took out another fifth. Between the 3 or 4 times, just the rough or the name. כדי שזוג יורד.
We're not talking about the rave of the hand. We're talking about rave of the ganze Uber.
I know, but look at the also gemeint früher. Read the erste Wörter von der Gemara.
No. No, you can't read the words of the Gemara because the Gemara it's not even clear from the Gemara that this is the case. It's Rashi helps us understand what the case is.
Okay, so let's read it together. Oitzi, אם תמצא לא אמר, כיוון דהודה או הודה.
Right. Then, Hoitzi Uberes Yodai, you cut it off.
So in the previous case, even though the wave came out diminished, כיוון דהודה הודה.
According to Rabbi Yochanan, yeah. It was only asked according to Rabbi Yochanan that who says that ain't later. So therefore, Ravata, right. Given the Hoda. Or maybe not. But anyway, that's one. So, yes.
Okay, let's read it slowly. הוציאו ברס יודוי בחותכו. בחוזה והוציאו את יודוי בחותכו.
No, that's the other Sheni. Yeah. That's where Rashi learns. Take a look at the previous Rashi. He says one hand, then the other hand, then the Shedra, then the...
This is the previous. Im Tim Solomar is andere Shaila.
It's the same Shaila, except now he's saying, cut it.
וממילא verstehst du nicht die andere Rashi. Ich sage dir, dass ich dieselbe Shaila behand. Rashi sagt, Aliba der Rab, wo sagt, er nimmt aus die Hand. Und sie kommt zurück. Ein Leido Beivori, right?
No, Rab says yes, later.
Leido, after yes, Leido, only if she stuck his hand completely out the first time. But if she took out a quarter and I cut it, and another quarter and I cut it, since she never took out the wave of the hand, this is
not an Imtim Salema the way you're learning. Imtim Salema says, if the case that you learned before is true in a certain way, what happens if I do one more thing to it? But wait a second, I just want you to understand that Rashi, when he says it before, take a look at the case, how Rashi explains the case. This is not a new case. This is just the only new thing about this case is that he cut it off. But I'll read it to you from here.
No, I hear the way you say, but according to you, first that means the end of Rashi.
Why? It's a Lamdash Shaila wanting to know if, even according to Rav, who holds that Yesh Leido, but what's meant Yesh Leido? Now that each one of these Avarim was born, there is something left inside. Maybe that something left inside has its own integrity. Einachanami, these Avarim were born. But since not Roiv of that animal that's left inside came out at once, whatever's left inside now becomes the new Roiv. That's the way I understood it. I just wanted to hear if you understood it that way.
Okay, just a sec. I'm reviewing the previous case.
For sure. And if you want me to read to you what they say, I'll read it to you.
No, I mean... So let's see, that's the second one. No? If we don't put plastic right away, within 5 minutes the kids arrive, it's going to be full with soda, juice. It has to be covered all the time.
So this one that we bought was too long, right? How thick was too long? This one with the 108, I'll buy the smaller one. What's that, 72?
Well, we had in the house a full.
It's gonna use that, don't worry.
Okay, bye. Okay, let's read the previous Rashi again. The Divrei Oimer ein leido leivorim, which is Rabbi Yochanan. Oitzi yodoi v'echziroi v'choza v'oitzi yodoi acheres v'echziro v'choza v'oitzi sh'chose v'echziro עד שאישם לרובי שלובו. אליבא דרבי יוחנן אפשר דו מיה וכיום דענפיק רובי. הודיל מכיוון די לידו באיבורים, אבל חזור על ידי חזור to each organ, וכי נפיק אידך, ועוד הרי כמה, ואין כאן יציאה סבוי, good. Now, ואם תמצא אלוהים, אם תמצא אלוהים, כיוון דהוד העבודה, because the way you are learning it, it's a המשך מופריע.
Right.
That if רוב האיבורים, even though רוב האיבורים came out, but since each one that came out
Was cut off.
went back in.
No, Intem Salema, now that it went back in, it went back in. But now we want to know, new Shiloh. What happens if each time that they put out the Aver, it was cut off? Which means in accumulation, I have more than 50% of this animal cut off. Is that animal considered treif because Roiv came out? Or do I look at the rest of that animal as distinct, separate, no longer connected to those Evarim? And those Evarim came out, but this animal is left inside, is not considered. That seems to me to be the Shaila. And that Shaila, like Rashi explains, also is relevant to Lagabi Rav. Okay. And why is it relevant according to Rav? Because Rav, who holds that each Aver is born as it's born, so good. So his arm was born, his leg was born, his leg was born, and his shedra was born. And Rav of the animal now came out. But each part, that part already was born. Now what's left inside, maybe it's not considered like Rav came out because Rav didn't come out at one time. So there's a redefinition of the animal each time.
Only if the Aver came out completely. But
No, because we said before that even if the Aver comes out 52%, the whole Aver is usher, according to Rav, because it's Yesh Leid Levarim. What Rav is saying is, let me suggest how I understand. You tell me if it's wrong.
No, I mean, I don't know.
Okay, what Rav is saying is that once you put out the Aver, his arm, now his arm is born. That's it. If it's cut off, take away the arm. The rest of the animal inside is now a new animal. It's a reconstituted animal. It's a whole animal on its own without an arm. Next arm comes off, it's a whole animal without two arms. It's a whole animal. If it didn't come out all at once, you don't say that Roiv came out. Whatever is left inside is a whole animal left inside. That's the other side of the Iboya. Now I'll read to you what they say. I don't know. I mean, from what they say, I don't know if you can come away with any mahalach in the theory behind it.
Yeah, what was I saying?
Oy dilma ruba vasachas ba'inon. Oy shema nema shetzarch sheyetze roiv ha'ubar b'vasachas. The kimish yotze kol eva b'nifrad. Eina mitztarf miyachad le'choshev leido. Im kain. Ma shebifnim nita b'shchita so'eim. V'rak ha'evarim sheb'chutz asurim. The suffix there, who afladas ha'soivrim, now he's adding Rashi, who da afilu das l'soivrim yesh leid le'evarim. She'im tzarch roiv b'vas achas, yitzias ever ein nachshavas leidog legabi ha'uber. Ulkach, rak ha'evorim sheyotzu asurim, aval evorim shelo yotzu klal utarim.
You hear what they say?
Yeah, I hear what they say, but they didn't say a theory. They just said they just
They,
have
they say that according to Rav, if 50%, 60% of the Evorim came out and went back in, those Evorim are about awesome. But the other 40%, then it's awesome.
That's the other Dilma, right? Right.
No, but this is Dilma, I feel a little bit of that.
Yes, but they're saying a bigger chiddush. They're saying even if you didn't put it back, even if you cut it off. Remember, that's the symptom salima. You cut off those evorim. You left this animal with only half of its original, less 40% of its original being. Still, it could be that Rav would hold that it could be mutter agav the mother because not Rav came out at once.
Right,
The fact that you lost Rav of your evorim does not mean that Rav was born at once.
right.
Even according to Mandama Yesh Leidel Evarim, it means Aver is born, but not Evarim, that meaning 60% of the Evarim of the animal.
Right.
Okay, that's the way I understand it. Toshma. Oh, okay. Now we come to the Gemara, to the Mishnah that we didn't understand what it meant. The last words in the Mishnah. Steht in the Mishnah, Zeh HaKlal, Dova shebegufo aser, v'she'ena gufo mutter. She'en gufo la'asuyemai.
Yeah, what did the Mishnah say about?
Yeah, we don't know. We never knew what that meant in the Mishnah. Rashi said you'll wait till Gemara.
What does the Mishnah talking about?
It's the last line in the Mishnah.
Yeah. You can add the Mishnah that if you cut pieces of the uber and you left it in, it's mutter. If you cut a piece of the behemoth and you left it in, it's also after the shchita. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. My love la'asuye ki hai gavli.
Our case. That's what the Gemara wants to propose. That this is talking about our case, and therefore we can look to the Mishnah to see what the resolution is. Rashi, Davar she'ena b'gufa, ela min ha'ubar, v'nimtza b'seicha, mutter. So maybe what this is telling me is that even if you cut off pieces, but you have it left inside a piece of the uber, it's mutter.
כולם המדרגה של עשויי מים, יכולת לעובר, תענה לי, אלא לאו לעתוי כי אגב, למי שעמיעו את העובר בפנים, ורובו יוצא מחותך.
Right. Right. And it says, Zaklal, Dova shegufa aser, v'she'ena gufa mutter.
Good, but how would you touch now the Wörter? Gufa also, Gufa mutter.
So take a look at the Rashi, the first Rashi on the page, the second Rashi. Dova she'ena gufa, ela min ha'ubar, v'nimtza b'seicha mutter.
Yeah.
Kumtois, that if you have left over 40% of the uber, it'll be mutter, right? That's what we would conclude on the basis of these words, no?
Ja, ich sage dem Mute in der Welt für seine Mutter, no?
Also is mashma. That's how they want to learn, no? That's how they want to be pashat boyet.
Right.
And for the Gemara, no. Look, it's not. No, it has nothing to do with our case. Lasuye kolut. Kolut b'mei poro. If the animal inside does not have kosher simonim, right? If its hooves become kolut, baliba Rab Shimon. Afal gav the Omer Rab Shimon. And tell me a chiddush. What's the chiddush? Afal gav the Omer Rab Shimon kolut ben poro. Osur. Hani mili. When it's talking about
Only if he was born.
right. Hani mili heched the yotzal avi hoilam. Aval b'mei imoy shari. So therefore, the Mishnah has nothing to say about our case, and our case remains unresolved.
Right.
Okay. So you call it Rashi. Afilu hanimsa sholem b'mei para. So how do you learn this into the words of Dova Shagufa Asur v'She'ena Gufa Mutter? You know how you'd have to teach it?
Ja, Kozman, als ik vind zich in de goof.
Yeah, but put that into the words. Dova Shagufa.
Ja.
You have to learn just the opposite. Dova Shagufa, if it comes out and becomes its own Asur. She'ena Gufa, if it never became its own animal, then it's Mutter, right?
If it's inside the mother,
but to touch it into the words, you have to say Dova Shagufa, if it came out.
Good. Yeah, good.
Okay. Okay. Boy Reb Chananya. Hoitzi uber asyode ba'azora. Mahu. Okay. So this is an interesting case. Rashi tells us.
Just a second.
If the concept of bosa basode treifa means that you took your arm out, that the animal took its arm out of the mechitza, is there such a thing as an overriding mechitza? Right now, when we yeah,
Is
go ahead.
the mom kochim or nicht?
The mom is avada kochim, yeah. Oh, but that's the shaila is nicht das. The shaila is this. The shaila is if the mama is in the azora, do we now define the basada as the azora and not the mama? So now, if he put his arm out, but he's still in the azora, take a look at the Rashi.
So no, but you have to read two more lines more.
Okay.
Be good, have a mechitza legabe kochim.
Right.
Since the azora still remains a mechitza for kochim, have you nami legabe the eye? Is das nicht, als always genommen sein Hand von mechitza?
Right. Even though it's outside the mother.
Legabe the eye, love mechitzi. The mechitza, ubar, imoi.
Right.
Maybe the fact that the azora is the mechitza, okay. Yeah, lama זה נראה רש"י. hoitzi uber
shel shlomim es yodei b'shas shchitas imoi ba'azora. Mahu liyos loy choimes hazora mechitza lahatira b'shchita sayim.
Was muss Rashi sagen, als ich Schlomme?
Also was?
Aber sagt Rashi, Uber Schlomme.
What do you want to? You're asking why it's not kachi kachim?
It's Uber Shechatus.
L'chayr is the same thing. The reason they say shlamim, I think, is because they're going to continue asking questions legabe kachim kalim. The mechitza of kachim kalim is Yerushalayim, not the Azora. So we have a second follow-up question: Is Yerushalayim enough of a mechitza also? Okay, let's say the Gemara.
Okay. Let's read it again.
Sure.
Rav Hanani, Oitzi Uber is Yoder Bazor Omar. Migu le'ave mechitza legabe kochim. Aviname mechitza legabe hai. The fact that he's still, as far as coaching, he's still in the or Dilme, the Gabi, the Hai, La Mechitze, Super,
So really, that's the shaila. The shaila is there such a thing as like larger circles of mechitza? Gewöhnlich in the street, by chulin, the mechitza is the mother. But if there's an overriding mechitza, which is kachim, and that's the azara, so does that make machavet like the mother and replace it with the azara?
Aber guck, jetzt haben wir ein Problem. Mit dem Boiloch Coaching Kalim Yerushalayim.
Right, that's what he is now.
When Rashi Shlomi is Coaching Kalim, Rashi Ogita Shlomi Shalim Coaching Kalim.
Okay. And yeah, the shal is by Kachim Kalim. But not the shal is not Kachim Kalim Bazara. The shal is Kachim Kalim Yerushalayim. Von was fragst du nicht wegen das?
Right. So for was ist der Gerät bei Shlomi mit der Azore, for was nicht bei Shlomi in Yerushalayim, no?
Right.
Look, there's a Coaching Kalim Yerushalayim, my time in the
Verstehst ganz gut, dass Kachim Kalim Gabi Yerushalayim, that's not going to work.
Mechitza super, was sagt mir als Gefitzach in Yerushalayim, but the mame is the natural Mechitza, yeah?
You understand that? He's saying you yourself understand that, right?
Right.
So now, what are you suddenly asking me about about Shlomim in Azora? The Zelbazach. Hochenami mechitza super imayhu.
Very good, yeah.
I mean, I saw.
Look at Tosfos. Look at the first Tosfos sentence.
Yeah. They're gonna ask, who says that the intensity of Yerushalayim is sufficient, maybe, but the intensity of Azara is yes sufficient.
Look at Tosfos. Abchanani Ave Miboyle Bazor, Shum Dechashiva Mechitza Yoiser.
Right.
Yesh Chidas Kochim Kalim.
Right.
ומי הוא למצוא תוספס, לכאורה, עבדי הזור, עשר מחיצס, אז אפילו עשית גיבור גיבור נמנצה, וכן זוג, אז es mutter beschritt Simon, because das käme nicht raus wie עבדי הזור.
That's right.
ומי הוא זוג תוספס, מנוילת כולי בעזור, לא יקם מבוא עליהם, פשיט את אותו משחית. Very good.
A full raya idus nicht. From the fact that you didn't ask about the mechitzas Yerushalayim and you understood, as Tosfos himself explains, the intensity of Yerushalayim is not as strong as of Azara, so maybe Azara could work.
Right.
Boy Ilfa. This is an interesting case also. Hoitzi uber es yodei ben simen l'simen mahu. Yeah. You shechted the corner.
Right.
And now he stuck out his hand. And now you're holding by the Veshit. Mi mitzdarv simen rishon l'simen sheni. L'tar, right?
The tower
I'm sorry. He didn't stick out his hand. Or he did? 1 second. Yeah. Yeah.
Those clo that the hand is awesome. So as
Right.
aber אפשר das nicht kein Nevele nur treffen.
Correct. So the shaila, like Rashi explains it, is that simen rishon is matter two things. It's matter lachila and matter metuma. Simen sheni is only matter betuma. Is simen rishon going to be mitzurf to simen sheni or not? That's the shaila.
That's a Rashi, second.
You have Rashi? It's next to Hagoyis Maram Ransburg on the side.
Right. מי מצטרף סימון ראשון לסימון שני, ואוכל מבוירה. סימון ראשון כשנשחט, סימון ראשון כשנשחט,
Bo'oid eva zeh b'soicha,
הוא יבוא
hoyol hatir af bechila. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
ושיהיה אין חתיכס סימן שני בו על עבר זה, אלא לתאו ומדי נבל. זה שפושט, אז זה עסק כמה נשתה עסק תשתית, לא?
Yes.
לעמור לאל, וחכמים אומרים, מגע, טרייפה, שחוטו, אז מי
Maga trefer shkuta.
מצטרף סימן ראשון, שבו לו לתאר, ולעתיר באכילה, עם זה שאינו בו אלו לתאר, ולאוי אלוהי מי לתאר, אוי לו שניהם שונים. Shmuel, how does Rashi explain? Was it a suffix?
Wants to know if the din will allow a tziruf of two evorim, of two simonim that are not the same in terms of koyach hetera. The koyach hetera of siman aleph at the time that's being shochten is a strong koyach. It's a koyach to matir sai shchita, sai achila, and sai tuma. Koyach of the second one is only lahatir mituma. Can they be mitzurif or not? Is it a ma'aser shchita legabe either one of those two things, or no? You shechted one aver and one simon that's capable of doing something, and shechted another simon that's capable of doing something else, but it's not a ma'aser shchita. They're not mitzurif. They're not together. Okay, you'll see in the answer. I know what's bothering you, and the answer is going to be as kal v'chayma. Al avada if it could matter. If the first one come out to 2 and the second one come out to 1, so of course they both matter at least 1. That's going to be the answer. But right now, the shaila is whether they can be mitzurif.
אומר רוב וקל וחומר, אם יועיל לסימן ראשון לסימן שני להתיר באכילה, לא יועיל לו לתאר או מדי נבלה.
That's the answer. The answer is, if it's the fact that it has koyach for 1 doesn't make it less than 1, and the other one had for 1 plus 1. So at least take the 2 ones and be mitzaref them. Legabe being matir mituma. Yeah, good. Take a look at Rashi Oy Dilma. That was what you wanted to know. Oy Dilma kivin the yesh chiluk b'neihem. Lo mitzaref rishon shehu nishchat l'sheni dvorim l'shnei dvorim. No, I'm sorry. B'neihem.
There's
Lo mitzaref rishon shehu nishchat l'shnei dvorim im hasheni she'ein el tarim midei nevela. Ve'en kan shchita shlema l'taroi. That's what he says. He says it's not, you can't be mitzaref. That's the shayla. Teretz is and mitzaref siman rishon l'sheni lahat b'achila kol ha'ubar l'abhema le'aminan shchita chaluka hi ve'en shchita loy bezu v'loy bezu loy toil evet tarim midei nevela. He says the fact that they're not the same does not mean that there's not a singular unitary shchita. It's unitary, it's one. It's still kosher, it's still a shchita. It's not a kosher shchita l'gabe achila, but it's a kosher shchita l'gabe tumah.
Yeah.
Okay, this next one is more complicated, I think.
Boy Rabbi Meir, the Uber stuck his hand and it boiled back.
Mm-hmm.
Then he was born. And
You don't
now-
have to say he brought it back. Once you say he brought it back, you bring your machlokes. You could say he left it outside.
Okay. Right. Mao lochush lezaro. Echidon. Ileme de oza labeime ma'anesi. He impregnant. Der Uber jetzt ist a
It's
kosher.
a zocher. There was a zocher.
Ja, aber der Hand, was hat gestärkt, bleibt offen. Ja.
Yeah.
So mir Ileme de oza labeime ma'anesi.
Now he came on a nekeva who's 100% good.
So was ist seine Scheide was?
Or bezoi my area hide is beisur.
Before that.
No, so far this is the question. If he came on a normal behemoth,
Mal lag's auf, Meiri, hi. Sie poshet, sagt er, gucken Rashi.
yeah, that's what he's saying. If he came on a normal behemoth, what do I care if he had his hand out?
Look at the Rashi first. You see the Rashi,
Which?
Ma'u lochush lezaro.
Right.
Ja, was sagt Rashi?
Maholoch shel zar shelu bezeh. Shehoitzi yodoy. V'nishchato. Imay v'hoitziuhu chai. Right. V'godal. Ubola behemo. V'hoilid. Mahu sheyeser eva kiyetze boy hanoilid mimenu.
Of the Evel von the
Yeah. I mean, the assumption for this shaila is the father of the behemoth cannot be stronger than its father. If its father had a treifa arm, then the behemoth should have a treifa arm, even though the father lives with a mother who was totally okay.
All right. The only thing was ich verstehe nicht gut ist, was darf Rashi sagen, that mit gestochen die Mame, der Gebor Mutter beschritt das immer, aber die Schale is the hand considered a dover rosa? Why don't you say that? And he was born afterwards. The Uber
I understand. But we're talking about the perik is a perik of Ben Pekua. So we want to keep it consistent, no?
Of course, what I'm asking is to do the next child from the Gemara. Like the Gemara, my area, I, the Yisra Yotze, אפילו בפקוד, the Armen haben. Aber was fragst du dafke do? Sie hat herausgestellt seine Hand. Ja? Frage general question bei בפקוד. אומר המשל שלדברי הורים החוששים לזרע ההורים. והם פקוע, הבוער, ואם הם מעל ישראל, הוולד, אין לו את הכל. Avos, weil ich Schritte wird nicht helfen. Because who impregnated the baby, aber cool.
I don't understand what are you saying? What's the problem with that case?
Okay, der Bempkur darf nicht geschrieben.
Right.
Der Bempkur impregnated the female, and sie hat a solche oder eine Käfer. You cannot echt the Vlad, because Choshish im Zera Ab, und der Zera Ab hat nicht geschritten. Die Schritte wird nicht helfen bei der newborn Vlad. Der sagt,
right.
Was fragst du bei uns? He stuck his hand, and der hat mir geschochen, die Mame. When he impregnated, he didn't stick his hand בכלל. mit geschochen, die Mame, mit getroffen hat, mit Kurden, mit aber gewann andere Beine.
He says there's no answer for that child, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So die Gemara לא צריכה, לא זרה בפקוד הכבוס.
Not kavasei that's also the arm, just kavasei ben pekua, which means that it's exempt from shchita.
My Aver moiled Aver. Every Aver of the impregnant of the male is responsible for another Aver. וחותך לשורם. ודילמה מבלבל זרי.
So wait a second. Chatech lev shari means that this new baby.
You cut the arm. The new baby ist eichet, als wie einer, was hat rausgesteckt seine Hand. Und wie wird es darf sagen, dass sie trifft. So schneid die Hand und erst oder nicht.
Right. Or you say mevalbel zare, which means what? That the weakness that he has in his leg is now passed on in the entire body because the zera has a chelik from everything. That's what Rashi. Rashi says mevalbel zare means that since when he impregnates the female, he has in his zera from his whole body. Therefore, there's a shtickle isser in the zera, in the entire zera. So therefore, it goes through the entire body of the new ben pekua, of the new child.
Yeah. Right.
And I know the Gemara on the bottom, on the side here, they have long discussion about Zev Goyim, but they're saying, okay, but say leave that aside for the moment. Gemara is going to bring up anyway Zev Goyim.
Adar Omar, Pshiten, can you zoom as Eber is moiled Eber, favors. Adar Omar, Pshiten, the Mevarbel Zara, the Imkain otherwise, Sume, Yolit Sume, the Kitea, Yolit Kitea. Edu wie zoom, na der Hand, was ich gewinn Osser, schafft eine neue Hand, was ist Osser. So, yeah. Ela Pshiten, the Mevarbel Zara. Behoche kam Boiling. Beheme, be'alme. Any born baby. Love
any behema. Not that you tell me mevalbel zare. But every behema has a shtickle isser in it. It has a chaylev. It has dam. It has other isurim. The what do you call it? The what Yaakov Avinu's.
Gidanoshe.
The Gidanoshe.
לאו מכוח חילה ודם כוס כעסי ושריה. וכנה מראש. בי כמנסי ידע באימא, זה כל תוך מכוח חילה ודם. וכנה מראש, נעוד ילמד.
Say Surah Amina, plus a Lamina.
חילה ודם אז צמאי, אבל יש צולג ידיעי וראה השני.
I mean, you hear that, right? You hear it. Otherwise, it would be impossible to eat any animal. So we have to assume that which is it's normal, a normal treifa part of the animal, a normal not mutadik part of the animal. That's yeah. That even it's meval bazar. But now you added epsanayazach. Now maybe not.
רק די גמור ולמד, לא יתפמן פרקט בדישאי. יל רב מאיר, איסור חילה ודם איקה, איסור יויצר לקה. The Gemara is about to present the Machlekes Tanoim. If the chaylev of an unborn child is also echad or nicht. So Yile Rab Meir, Yisur chaylev v'dam takido. Yisur yoytzer lek. Suppose there's a nicht having. Yile Rab Yude, Yisur yoytzer, Yisur chaylev v'dam.
So look at Rashi. Either Rab Meir Amar Isur chaylev noiheg b'shtlil tidl kamon Isur chaylev v'dam ika Isur yoytzer leko. The whole Rab Meir afilu masha b'fnim ton shchita kidikatani masnisen umotza bo ben pekua ben tisha iton shchita.
Rab Meir altish for the din for ben pekua. Rab Meir zogta ben tisha chai da meshach.
So he holds him the din of ben pekua up until 9 months. Up until 9 months. After 9 months. He holds that. What?
Weiter Rashi. Ilka Havel Kisha Bein.
Right. What does that have to do with what we're talking about?
No, Leut Vemen fragst du unsere Scheile, als was. Du bist bringen eine Reihe, als ich kann nicht sagen, dass die Hand asset der Hand, weil über sie Heile Bedam asset nicht. sagt er, lieber der Rab Meir, die Scheile fangt sich nicht an, weil Rab Meir auch, aber trifft das Schlill, darf man המשך. Dann darf man המשך. So kannst du dich fragen, let's go to Rabbi Yehuda, then we'll come back to Rab Meir. Here Rabbi Yehuda, שמואל קוק נוח אמור פריד, אלא פשיטה דמבל זערי ואוכל כמדויר. באימו בעלמי, לאו לכוח אלה ודם כעשה ושארי. אוכל נעמה, אוכל נעמה, אז אוי ציודוי, ונר גיבור גבור, אני אימפרגננס, ונעדה באימה, שארי, אוכל נעמה לא אישה, עוד ילמה תראי איסורי אמרינם, בוסס, חלב ודם, kann ich hören, that one beheime Asser nicht die andere. Das ist der Teil gesagt. Aber in addition, du hast ein Eiver, was mit der Reus gestärkt, öfter das nicht. So, haben wir noch einmal. Der Uber hat Moitzi Jodol, ja, der Uber was born, der Uber impregniert andere. In die andere Beheime, der Flip Factor, sind der Uber geht Chelev Dam mit der Hand. Öfter das hat mir nicht mehr gegeben. Nicht weil one Eiver is affecting the other. In the father of the new, you don't rise so.
Good. Okay, that much we understand. Now the question is.
Yes, good. Uleman. Ile Rab Meir, Isu Chelev Vedam Ike, Isu Yoitze Lek.
If everything happened after 9 months, the whole question doesn't apply to Rab Meir. Chelev and Dam.
It says a Uber noch 9 months. It stuck his hand. It was nicht awesome.
No, it requires shchita. It's not chutz l'mitzasa. It's totally on its own. So the chelev and dam are aser, and the hand is mutter because it's going to have to be geschachten, right?
No, it's many nicht gescheile.
Ja, fang sich nicht an der ganze Scheile. Because one thing you have to say, you have to agree that no matter what, just like we said before, an animal that's a treifa that gives birth to a healthy animal, the healthy animal is kosher. It doesn't carry forward the treifa, just like a summa doesn't carry forward the summa, etc., etc. So here also, if the grandmother stuck out the hand, I don't care because this animal stands on its own, right?
Yeah.
No, the Rabbi Yehuda.
Rabbi Yehuda, Isur Chelev Bedam is only if the behemoth is born, yes? But if you are...
Yeah, he says it's mutter.
If you shech and you bring out the Uber from inside, you shtor Chelev Bedam of them Uber.
Right, nicht das.
In the middle, nicht kein Scheile if he impregnates another baby.
Well, wait, you have to type. Il Rabbi Yehuda, Isser Yoitze Ika, Isser Chelev Adam Leko.
Right.
Was meint Isser Yoitze Ika?
When he stuck his hand, du Isser of the hand.
No.
Chelev Adam and Ishto. Memele, כמה Ishto Masofa כפי, נמת המרויס לבדיק. הוא impregnates, אפשר ידעו דרי סורי, וממילא the new one is also, Ishto can dry, so don't know rain.
Okay, but the eine is a nayis. Maybe that one is enough to answer it.
Ich wollte sagen, als dafke drei, die Teurot Mathe geben zwei, öfter drei nicht. It's either one or none.
That's the Shaila?
Das ist more.
Yeah, that's what Rashi says.
I didn't see the Rashi, aber das ist gut, das meint der Rashi.
Rabbi Yehuda sagt Rashi, bar plukte de Omar ein to und Schchita, Masha befnim, darf nicht kein Schchita, ve'ika Isser Yoitze, she'en lo heter Isser Chelev, she'en lo heter.
אין לו heter, aber Isser Chelev Adam, nicht so.
Okay. So right now, what the point is that this Shaila can't come up?
אלא כל מikoyach, כל מikoyach.
No, wait. Desnan, Gid Anosha.
desnan Gid Anosha, נוהג בשליל. וחל בו יוסף, דברי המאיר, רב יהודה הרים הרי נוהג בשליל, וחל בו יוסף. Zum Meile, was ist der gefragt? Also er hat rausgesteckt seine Hand, und hat ihm rausgenommen, er ist imprägnant, ist doch die Scheibe. Nicht der Rab Meir, noch der Rab Yehuda, aber der wird der nahe geboren auf seine Mutter.
Okay, Ella.
אלא כל מכויח,
Lo yaminu.
he's talking shayle, that the newborn is mutter. ואוכל כמה בוילון, מהו לגמויה אס או זה חלובו. את הראש גשתק את ההנד, yes?
Yeah,
The hand bleibt us.
you're right.
Now he's born. And
Yes.
you raise him, can you drink the milk or not? מהו לגמויה אס חלובו. דעלמה לא כאיבה מן החי דמי ושור. בנורמל בהמה, you're permitted to drink the milk. נמי לא ישנה, עוד ילמי also, יש לי את הקונה לאיסורי בשחיתה. או חולס את הקונה לאיסורי בשחיתה. Verstehe mal, the Gemara is, by the way, raising a very serious question. If you drank coffee last night, the milach is coming from an animal that's mutor nicht essen. Because it is Aiva min achai, tell us his name. Weil die Hefze von der Behemoth, der von Schritte, möglich. Aber durch doch nur Isser in die Behemoth, der Hand, aber Hand in nicht doch in Etter.
And therefore,
No, and therefore can say the Milach kann man nicht trinken. Die Hand, was wir können nicht essen, is part of the Behemoth. Part of the Behemoth is trade. Kann man nicht trinken die Milach that she's producing.
when you're going to shech this behemoth, you're going to be able to eat every other part of this behemoth, no?
Die Hand.
I'm sorry, you're not going to shech this behemoth. This behemoth doesn't need shechita, right? This behemoth, everything else is mutter. Its other hand, its legs, its everything, the flanken, everything is mutter, right? So mitaymal, the milk is going to be usher?
Look at the Rashi. Es Chalovo is of Rashi. Im nekevoi v'yolvo. V'arei choleves. Chalovo ma'u ba'achile v'aynu lezaroi v'koroma she'en acholov bo ad shetelet. So go back 2 lines before the white lines. Boy Rabir miyamaru lochush lezaru. Lernen mir. Aber Casey ist nicht Zaroi, nur Milach. Before your Shaila Shmuel of Shchita, the Shaila is a Bempkue, the stack his hand was born. The hand is treif. This machine, the Bempkue, is producing milk. Part of this machine is treif. Kann man trinken die Milch oder nicht? Sie Shmuel Shchita darf ich nicht haben, weil er sagt Bempkue. I have to cut his hand, and then the Bempkua is mutter. But the shal is when the Bempkua is producing milk, is the milk mutter or not?
Right here.
Kuka minut bis es sagen bei dir.
No, I hear it. And so let me just say what you're saying over, see if I understand it. I'm going to say it with the Maskana of the Gemara. Since this animal has a part of it that's treif forever and cannot become mutter, it's a different din than the regular Evim Nachai. The regular din of Evim Nachai, which would matter the milk because it comes from a live animal, is because that's roy l'shchita. This part is never roy l'shchita. Therefore, when it comes and it mixes together with all the other blood and everything else and it produces milk, maybe that milk is not mutter. That's the question.
This is exactly the Gemara will say.
Okay.
So listen, I don't think I'll go over. Mr. Mayor would never get here. So Shabbos, Frankel Bezogen. So Kuka minut. Kuka minut, you know, with basic mission, yeah?
Yes.
I don't think you would get here. If you ask me tonight, ich alt mit זה in Samaches Amud Aleph. Toshma be'emo mekashu. Maybe I will get it. See, the vote is
You can't go through this fast. Okay.
learning with day tonight from 7:15 till 7:45. Then daven is a mincha. And after mincha, so let's say, wie lang darf man a mincha? 30 minutes? 30 minutes?
Yeah, with landing in the after.
So let's say 7:15, 7:45, 8:15, 8:20. Then met man nog 40 minutes. Well, maybe, yeah, but you're right. I don't think all the other details. Okay, I should just learn this.
Okay. So wait. So
We got to the 2 dots.
right.
Mishnah gestanden, als mit geschnittener Chelek von der Huber, hat das übergelost bei die Mame, am Schech die Mame, kann man essen die Stücke, ja?
Right.
Minolo, ich בכל בהמה מפרסס פרסו, ולא כסגן את הפרסים,
Aleph.
בכל בהמה מפרסס פרסו ושסה שתי פרסוס, מעלס גילו בבהמה איזו תחיל.
Oh, so this is what we were promised at the beginning of this parak. The word babehema.
Right.
Zok the Gemara. Behema, babehema. Take the first behema in the pasuk and the second behema in the pasuk, or it should have said only behema and you don't need to say babehema. I don't know which one of the two. Let's see Rashi. I don't. Okay.
Look back at Rashi in the Mishnah.
Yeah, Rashi said babehema. From babehema, we learn everything that's in the behema is mutter.
Right.
But is it because it's repeated in the pasuk, or because the word babehema is not necessary? Could have said just behema.
Right. For most it Babe.
Yeah, okay. Either one. Fine.
Babe.
Chol behema freses pas. So behema babehema. The rabbi says havlad. Ela me'ato. Yamiru boy. What's make Yamiru boy though? Yamiru zakrashi. Im hevi behemes chulun etzel behemes kachim. Muberes. V'ama harezu tmuras ubar shalzu. Tehei tmura. Daha gabi tmura bebehema ksiv. Steht, yeah. The im heme yomer behema ba behema.
It's just aim the word ba beheme.
That means an uber inside.
It indicates that the uber inside counts as a separate entity. It is a bezach was a ken machen tmura.
So under what kind of tumura you want to make? So Rashi, the case was
You have a behemoth scotching who is pregnant, and you bring a behemoth chunin, and you say that the blood of the behemoth scotching should be mumer and the behemoth droisim. Look a second at the Rashi.
No, I hear. He says if you're going to touch Baba Hema means an Uber, so then the pasuk by Tamura is talking about an Uber, and therefore that means that you can make a Tamura Uber. Okay, that's what he's saying. First thing.
Alamat nan.
Ein Mamirin loy
An Eva Miriam loy
Avrin
hello borim
Uborin
borim mishlei.
loy Uborin Beavrin. Loy Avrin Buborin and loy Uborin Beavrin. So Rashi. Eva behemes chulin zeh Tamur tachas uber behemes kachim zu v'lei umar mebarin uber behemes chulin zu Tamur baraglo shall behemes kachim zu. Is was okay.
ולא יבורים ואוברים בשלמים. לא שלמים בהם. There are four cases which we can nicht machen Tmura. Tmura meint a lebedike beime, a lebedike beime. Aber eine Miriam lo Evorim von ein live beime auf a Uber. ולא בורים ואיבורים. kann sich nehmen ein Uber von der Behemoth Chulin und so, aber das ist Tmura verändert von der Behemoth Kotschin.
Okay.
ולא איבורים ואוברים, ושלמים, פיין. ולא שלמים בוהם. אלא מעטו המידה שלהם בהמה בבהמה, לא? אז the Uber counts as a בהמה. זאת אומרת, was kann man da kann ich mehr?
You can't. You can't even make you can't make a Tamur of Uber of a behema. This only mechadish that it doesn't even work by an Uber.
Das ist die Kasche, was nicht?
What's the kasha? What do you mean for was nicht? Because there's no din of Tamura.
Bishlom mir sagen, weil Uber ist ein Uber und ist nicht der Behema, versteht man. Aber die Minute, wo du sagst, aber ich schneide der Behema und betrifft ihn wenig 2 Stück nach Mermen, weil die Behema ihn wenig ist ein separate Behema, verwohl sie nicht stocken, Tmure bei die Behema, was die Fritzach ihn wenig. Das ist die Kasche.
Why are you saying that the behema inside is a separate behema? The behema inside is considered like Yerachimoi.
Das ist die Bände Drosche von die Gemorre, bei Behema, das ist die ganze, mit guck noch einmal die Gemorre. וכל בהמה מפרסס פרסו, בהמה בבהמה.
The rabbi says Havlad. What's meant the rabbi says Havlad? That everything inside the behema is mutter. Even Havlad. That's why if you take a piece of spleen from the Vlad, it's mutter, but if you take a piece of spleen from the mother, it's usher.
Yeah, so please look at the Rashi Behema Babehema. Shoni Behema the Reish הבא בהמה, שוני בהמה דרישה, הבא בהמה דסייפה. ככה מבוסס לפרסים. בכל בהמה מפרסס פרשו, בא בהמה, שוני, נמדי בהמה פדרשת דסייפה, דרוש אוכי, בהמה הנמצאס, בא בהמה תאכלו. קונטו שמואל, as der Posik was is matir zu essen a Bepkur is relating to Bepkur nicht, weil ich auch geschochten die Mann, weil ist aber eine Versich, ist aber eine.
Why do you say that?
Der sagt Rabbeinu Shlomo Yitzchaki, guck, Ela me'ato oil shlir kol be'ene.
Yes, I understand, but it's going the other way. Since you call the shlila behema, it's mutter because it's ba behema. Not because it's an independent behema. If it was an independent behema, you'd have to shecht it.
Mal ich verstehe, aber die Drosche gewähnt, als der Schlil ist aber ein.
Part of the original behema.
What?
Part of the original behema. Not a separate behema.
It is nicht gebeheme. Die Drosche ist ba behema, behema. Look again at the Friat Rashi. Shadi behema de reisha, ba behema de seife, v'droshe. Behema animtzeis.
But behema tachelu.
Behema.
But it doesn't mean a full-fledged behema. That sounds like a mayor.
Nur nicht das Stück Fleisch, was befindet sich in die Behema, nur Behema. Damit ist die ganze Kasche mit gemacht. Nur eben nicht doch in Kasche, ich verstehe. Ela me'ato oil shlil koi Behema.
Yeah.
Du guckst an die Shlil, als die Behema. Yamiru. Im Evi Behema schuli netzer Behema skotchi nur Beres. Eben der Vlad, und die Behemoth Kochim Uberes counts as a separate behemoth.
Okay.
ואומר הרי זו, לבדיקה בהמה ידרוש תמורס אובר של זו, תהיה תמורה. והוגה בתמורס, אבל גם תמורה בהמה כסיב, עם הומר יומר בהמה בבהמה.
Okay. So he says it should be he who's murusa yeh kodesh. That means that the uber should become kodesh, right? That's what he's asking?
The Lebedike Beheme outside was gesagt, dass sie so während Tmura and the Uber of Kochim, die Lebedike Beheme.
Both of them should become kodesh. Yeah, right.
אלא אומר רובה, אלא אומר כבוד, the Rosh is בכל בהמה לרבו זה סבלה. nicht schwur, the Rosh is nicht, wie mit gesagt, friert בהמה בבהמה, nur בכל בהמה, das heißt ja, die Reiche von der Post.
Okay.
Yochi, as was, at the Posik, the whole Bahema Zokni, whatever you find in the Bahema, I feel the Vlad, Kemenesin, I feel Hoitech Minat Chol Ve'akloyes Nami, this is Bahema. Alam Atnan, Hoitech Mina Uber Shebemeya Muter Bachile, Minat Chol Ve'akloyes also Bachile. What is the difference between the blood that you found inside or between the Tchol and the kloyos that you cut before she was born? So the Gemara Omar Kro Oiso Tochenu Oiso Shleimo V'lo Chaseinu. Yeah. Good.
No, what?
For the far Tom is the two pieces inside.
What does Rashi say? Ela me'ata, and oisa techelu. What's meant this? Kishehi shleima, echol kol hanimtza b'soicha. Aval kishehi chaseira, shenimtza b'soicha, megufa.
So
Megufa.
Rashi wants to avoid a big problem. Shmuel, wie kann man sagen, die Mame allein keine Chesed?
That's the shag. That's in the shag, right?
The Treul mit die Kloes kann man nicht essen. Ist Rashi macht die Drosche, guckt die Drosche.
Right. So Rashi is explaining the drasha.
Right.
So what does it mean? Oisa techelu, kishehi shleima.
כשאיש לב, du schechst aber
Yeah, the mama is a shleima, echol kol hanimtza b'soicha.
aber als כשאיך הסיירו, es nicht כל הנמצא בתוכו. Die Drosche, was mir umgehat, als alles, was gefühlt sich bei der Beheime Mutter, das ist nur die Beheime, ist ein Schleimo. Aber mit schon geschocht und friert und innerwendig gedauert die Sachen, tun wir nicht das.
Aber ob man geschachten frier. What did you say?
If a veterinarian stuck his hand into a behemoth and he separated the cloyus with the spleen, und auch der Mutter geschocht mit die Behemoth, Tomer ist das in die cloyus mit the spleen. Noch einmal, die Drosche ist, alles, was gefindt sich bei Behemoth, kann man essen. Wenn die Behemoth gewinnt als Schleimo, Mutter geschocht. Aber da ist sie nicht gewinnt als Schleimo, because before I schechte, doch nicht gewinnt, die Kloes mit der Spinischen mit der Wege.
Okay.
guck noch einmal, die Rashi auch ist so schlimm. ist אותו חילו כשישלמו, יכול כל הנמצא בתוכו. אבל כשיחסרו, שהנמצא בתוכו מגופו ושנאחסו ממנו לא בתוך הנמצא. לא זאת. Aber כשיחסרו, was is? Because I cut the clothes with the spring from שהנמצא בתוכו מגופו ושנאחסו ממנו בתוך הבגין ומפנים, לא ייתן לך. לא ייתן לך לנמצא.
Okay.
Okay, Schmutz, we'll stop here, yeah?
Okay.
If you give me a call tonight at 11.
Which number?
Oh, the number in the country.
Okay, one second.
I'm giving you a call now, so whatever appears, I'm going to.
Oh, okay. Which no? Are you calling me on the cell or on the phone? Home.
On the regular phone.
Okay. Okay.
This is
845-707-4058.
This is my number in the country.
Okay.
Okay, call 2 of the ID soon.
Okay. Alter.